Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So today we shall continue with chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is Akshara Brahma Yoga. We have gone through a couple of verses. Today we'll take up verse 8.7, and it is the very often quoted verse. And there is one phrase in it which is the essence of the Gita. So let us see what that is. I will share the screen and we will all chant. One phrase, one of you will have to identify what that phrase is, which is very, very famous. And that really gives us the essence of the Gita. That one phrase is enough. Okay. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddhihi mameva eshyasi asanshayam. Yes, can we all chant? Padmaja, you go first.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddhi mame vaishyasya sanshayam.
Very good. I split that up so that it's easier to chant, but you got that perfectly right. Suma?
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmarayudhya cha mayyarpitamano buddhihi mame vaishyasya samshayah.
Very good. Who is next? Yarappa, yaradru heli.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitarmano buddhihi mamesh vaishyasya samshayam.
Very good. Indra, Raja.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddhir mame vaishyasya samshayam.
Beautiful. Okay, Kamala.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddhihi mame vaishyasya samshayam.
Beautiful. Fine. And Pragati. Pragati, if she can. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm driving, so
Okay. Fine,
but
Pragati. You carry on.
I can repeat if you don't mind. If
Yes.
you can
I will do.
sorry.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu.
Sorry, it's breaking.
Okay.
Tasmat sarveshu. Yeah.
Kaleshu. Mam anusmara yudhya cha.
Mam anusmara yudhyacha.
Mayyarpita manobuddhihi.
Mayyarpita manobuddhihi.
Mame vaishyasi asanshayam.
Mame vaishyati asamsayam.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pragati. Shaila?
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः मामे वश्यस्य संशयम्.
Very good. So, are we done? Anybody else is there? So, what is the phrase here which leaps at one here? Can anybody tell? Which is the phrase which is very often quoted? Ma manusmara yudhyacha. That is the phrase. Just remember me and fight. There's a very, very famous quote of Krishna, which is told. It just means just remember me and fight. That's all we need to do for our end. It is not for Arjuna, it's for all of us. Okay, let us go methodically. The meaning, therefore, always remember me and also do your duty of fighting the war. How? Arpita mano buddhi, with a mind and intellect surrendered to me. Arpita mano buddhi, mind and intellect both you surrender to me. What will happen then? Mameva eshyasi, you will definitely attain to me. Asanshayam. Of this there is no doubt. So beautiful, right? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, just remember me at all times. See, this Krishna is unrelenting and he's a very, very selfish God. He says, no, you should not think of anything else apart from me. What does that essentially mean? You cannot think of anything else apart from me, Andare. What does it essential mean? I mean, can I always do Krishna Japa and sit and all the time? And can anyone pitch in? What does it mean, Anta?
Satchitananda.
No, Sachidananda. No, when he says, Ma Manusmara, you remember me always Andare, what does it imply? In a practical sense, what can we do about it?
Be on the Dharma side.
Very good.
Be on the Dharma side, the right Dharma.
Yes, please remember all the time what is Dharma, what is Adharma. Very good. Perfect. Next, more inputs.
Swadharma, do your Swadharma, whatever you are good at.
Whatever you are good at.
Yeah.
Just always have the discrimination. What is
Yes.
good. Yeah. Fine. Excellent. Yes, Padmaja?
Always have this I amness in you.
Always be centered. Alva? That's what you mean. Always
Yeah,
be centered. Don't ever stray away from your I amness.
I
Excellent.
am.
Yes. And anything else? Beautiful.
I think I wanted to say that probably sarveshu kaleshu, like every time when you do any work, you think of him or you think of Bhagavan is making you do all the actions. So the non-doership will take you to God.
Excellent. Beautiful. Yes. So many points are emerging. Very good, Pragati. Anything else? Kamala, Indra, Shaila, all of us.
Do your actions with Viveka and Vairagya.
Haudu. Correct. Perfect. Yes.
Then you are with me. Then you are with me.
Very good.
Yeah, everything is like Ishvara Arpita Bhava. Whatever you do, it's
Surrender.
and whatever results you come, like just it's like Ishvara
Very
Prasad.
beautiful. Very beautiful. Excellent. Kamala, Shaila, one point from you all, and we are going to move on. What is the meaning of this? Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha.
Like Pragati said, no, whatever you do, I'm just an instrument of God and I'm doing it on behalf of Him. That's all that.
Beautiful. Very good. Shaila?
Like if I don't have time to meditate separately, like whatever you do, even small things, you'll do from the point of view of the Lord.
Yes.
Like whatever you are doing, you are surrendering everything.
Very good.
To the Lord.
Perfect. Nirmala, welcome. Der hai andher nahi. You want to chant this verse, Nirmala, 8.6?
Yes.
I will share the screen for you.
Yes, please. Thank you. Sorry, I'm late.
No, no, not at all. You're welcome. Yes, go for it.
Pella?
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manuspara yudhya cha mayyarpita mano buddhihi mame vaishyasi asanchayam. Yes, that's your verse.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhya cha mayyarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasya asamshayah.
Very good. So it basically means, therefore, always remember me and also do your duty of fighting the war with the mind and intellect surrendered unto me. You will definitely attain me. Of this, there is no doubt. So, Nirmala, I was asking, we were discussing what is that one phrase that leaps out from this verse, which is oft quoted by everyone. Nirmala, that's for you, the question.
I don't get it.
Ma manusmara yudhyacha. That's the essence of the Gita itself. So all of us shared what that phrase means. Remember me always and fight. What does Krishna mean when he says, remember me always? You tell. All of us have shared some points. We shall consolidate later.
Keep your mind on Lord and do everything. Just like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, no. First, apply oil in your hand and then open the jackfruit.
Right.
You divinize your mind first.
Yes.
Then get into the world.
Beautiful.
And just like how you say, you oxidize yourself with divinity.
Beautiful.
You just live your life.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Always smiling, joyous, happy. Because there is a little detachment in the attachment. As long as there is little, lubrication in everything, there is no sound.
That horrible sound will not come, correct?
Will not be there.
So well put.
Smooth.
It'll be smooth. It'll be such a well-oiled machine running.
Yes. And have you seen a well-oiled machine? The sound of a well-oiled machine? It is always so pleasing. It has that, rhythm and the sound of absolute equanimity.
Yeah, so
beautiful. It is
beautiful.
only when the machine doesn't run properly, it makes all sorts of
sounds,
noise.
Correct. So beautifully said. I think all of us have, what we are all doing here? We are remembering the teachings of Krishna, isn't it? Essentially, that's what we have done. Whatever Krishna has told Arjuna in the past chapters, we have all recalled one teaching of him. That is what is the meaning of Ma Manusmara. Remember me means remember my teaching, isn't it? Essentially, that's what it is. Remember the teaching of Krishna and work.
I will be remembering the teaching of Krishna. I will be singing bhajans. That's what Meera says. And then what will you be doing? I'll be reading Bhagavad Gita. I will be reading Bhagavatam.
And then work. Keep the teachings in the mind always and work. Ma Manusmara Yudhya. See, look at that. The power, look at the power in the phrase. Ma Manusmara Yudhya. Just remember me and fight. What is he telling Arjuna? He is the epitome of, the most, he's fighting a battle. He's fighting a war for Christ's sake. And some people say Bhagavad Gita is for idlers, for lazy people. It's stupid. And it is not for just monks or mendicants. It's not for cowards. It is for all of us. That has to be driven into anybody who says anything about the Gita. Krishna is not saying that you sit at home and you do japa. No. See, of all the teachings that Krishna has given so far to Arjuna, or whatever in the 7 chapters, he has given so many instructions. You do this, you do dhyana, you do bhakti, you surrender, you blah, 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 everything he has done. But in the middle of the battleground, can Arjuna do any of that? He can do only one thing, fight. How to fight? Karma yoga. With an attitude of, I am doing the karma for, it is my dharma. I have to do my dharma and karma with an attitude of surrender. That is all he can do in the middle of the battlefield. Nothing else will come into mind for him. Alva. So that is how, that is applies to all of us. We are also all battling life only here. So, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. Like Nirmala said, apply the grease of Bhagavad Gita and then fight. Open the jack. The sticky life can be unraveled. And like all of you have shared one with Viveka and Vairagya. Every point of time, we have a choice in the head. Is this good for me? Is this bad? There is always the point of Shreyas and Preyas. What is good for me? What is pleasing to me? What do I choose at any point of time? That is Viveka and Vairagya. Then Suma said surrender. Yes, with the surrender means, again surrender means what? Again surrender to the teachings. Remember what is dharma, what is karma, what is the right thing to do. The larger picture should be in the mind, the big picture. Is it selfish or is it selfless? I'm acting for loka hita, or I'm just thinking of myself. All these points are there. Then what did Kamla say? Again, she said surrender. What did Indra say? What was the point you said? I'm just recalling, consolidating all the points we shared.
That existence.
Just remember that, everything is, the background of the whole thing is Sachidananda. That one more person said that, Padmaja said, remember that I am, that is the essence. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, like how a child, if Kannada, if you know Kannada, girgitle, people, kids play girgitle, they catch hands, two kids, they catch hands like this, cross, and they whirl. They laugh and they play and they go round and round and round, but they are so firm in the center because they are clasping each other's hands for steadiness, isn't it? Like that, that clasping of the hands is holding on to the teachings of the scriptures of Bhagavan. And then you go, that whirling is that life. And it's joyous. How children smile and laugh and they enjoy whirling around like that. So that is how life will become a joy rather than a pain. Yes, Nirmala.
In the merry-go-round,
Merry-go-round.
If you're sitting in the horses and that animals, it is maximum merry-go-round. But you go to the middle and catch hold of the stem of the merry-go-round, the movement is not much.
There.
But you will enjoy the moment. At the same time, you are safe.
Exactly.
There is no headiness there.
There is no giddiness and headiness.
Yes.
So it's so beautiful like that. So that's what you say. That's what he says, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Just like you hold on to the pillar in the center and then go around it. It's very, very joyful. It's so much fun. So that's what we have to hold on to. I am. What is that pillar? That I am. I am. I exist. That is my essence. All the other stuff, what this body does, what this body thinks, what this intellect thinks or does, it's just there. It's a game. It's a joyful game. The center is that I amness. Okay. And then, so fight the battle of life, yet think of me all the time. One can ask in this stage, is it not enough to do one's duty? Why all this natak? So many people will say that, who don't necessarily read the Bhagavad Gita, they will say, I am also doing my duty in the world. I am also doing, so many NGOs are there. And most of us also have done a lot of social service before coming to the Gita. We have done everything. We wish well for the world. We wish well for the society and everything happens. Is it not enough to do just one's duty and leave God out of the equation? That's a question which people might ask you. No. Tell them, no. Get God in the equation and see the joy that gives. What is the meaning of getting joy to the equation? Surrendering to a higher power. Meaning, doing your duty without, what is the meaning of doing your duty, surrendering to God? Again, all of us should share this. What do you mean when you say that? I'll do my duty, surrendering to Bhagavan. What is the meaning? We all shared that, of course. Once more, what do we mean by that? That I'm not bothered about the results, isn't it? Yeah. The results are not predominant. It's not in the foreground. It's in the background. If it comes, well and good. But I have done my duty. That attitude, how many people will have? Not many, right? I mean, without the teaching of the Gita, or without surrendering to the acknowledging a higher power, which is, acting upon everything, it's difficult. We are always subject to disappointments and all sorts of things, and anger and resentment. You might even give up doing your duty because it's not giving the results that you want. Alva? So when somebody
when the results are good, you don't remember Ma Paleshu Kadachana. When the results don't go your way, then okay, you try to accept it, saying it was not in my hand. Only then we remember mostly.
Only
then we remember mostly Ma Paleshu Kadachana. It was not the.
Correct.
It was not in our hands. Then we try to accept using this.
Yes. That is if you have read the Gita or heard. If that is not at all there, the result doesn't come the way it should, you want it to, what happens? Lot of resentment, isn't it? That acceptance also takes a lot of time to seep in. So that's the thing. So is it not enough to do one's duty and drop it? Drop it is, of course, excellent. Is it not enough to do one's duty? It's good, but get God into the equation. Get the teaching into the equation. Or another thing, is it not just enough to think of God alone? What's the answer? Okay, bari devru anta japa ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತಿರ್ಲಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ what is the answer? What will you say to such a person? Tell.
Doing your duty is godliness. Doing your work is Mamanusmara. Not sitting and meditating. It doesn't need. No, it is not our duty.
Not just enough is what it is. No? Why? Because you know what the larger teaching of the Upanishads, the scriptures is? Atmano mokshartham jagat hitaya cha. Cha means and, A-N-D, and. Atmano mokshartham. What we are all doing is, okay, we are trying to understand my true nature. What is it? What is the nature of creation? What is the nature of Bhagavan? What is my nature? All that we are learning here. This is Atmana, for myself. Atmano means for myself. Mokshartham. For the purpose of getting moksha, I am learning all this. That is just one part of it. That is, say, attending the class and remembering the teachings. Jagat hitaya, that part is still left. No. We have to think of the welfare of the world, welfare of society, welfare of environment, welfare of the immediate next person to me. That is important. That's also very, very critical. Both of them have to go hand in hand, which means with eyes open and with eyes closed, I'm with God all the time. Eyes open means I'm involved in the affairs of the world. Means my own little samsara, I'm involved in the affairs. No harm, and it is very essential. But ma manusmara, with keeping the teachings in the mind. And when my eyes closed, yes, I am. I detach myself from all the other disturbances. That kir will stop. Yes, Nirmala.
The when you're singing music, that Shruti is most important.
Shruti is important.
Like that, you mentally connecting yourself to God is most important. That is going on all the 24 hours.
Yes.
But you're doing other work on top of it. So you're doing it in a detached manner. So there will be a sort of smoothness.
Smoothness.
You will not get perturbed, affected, very flustered. No. You will take everything. You will be traveling in a river. And whatever comes on the way, you just enjoy.
Enjoy.
Either it's a mishap or it's a smooth ride, whatever it is. Because ultimately your connection is with the Lord. Just like an electric train. Electric train is connected with upstairs, with the
lines running above
lines. Yes. It is running. But where is it connected? Upstairs.
Yeah.
Like that. There you get connected and lead a normal life.
Yeah. Lead
That
a
is
life. That is the main here. Yeah. And also this Jagat Hitaya, working for the welfare of the world. If you see the lives of all enlightened masters or the Mahatmas, you always see that they do so much for society, isn't it? They have orphanages, they have Annadana things happening all the time. They have pujas and rituals, so of course, and it will be going on. Always praying, all the pujas and rituals and yagnas they do is also for the welfare of the world. Jagat Hita only they do. And
as Prabhuji says, head, heart, and hands. It's not only head. Oh, I'm mentally contemplating. I'm very great. I'm a jnani. No, there should be a bhakti. There is a melting. And then, how do you melt? By sympathizing, by empathizing, and by helping others, by being kind to others. That is the way. So, that should be, you must know, you must have the feeling. You should do. What is the use of just watching? One person is falling down. Okay, let him fall. That is his prarabdha. He is falling down. Hey, you have to go run, give a hand and say, come, get
Dharma,
up.
that's
dear.
Dharma. That's Dharma. You have to rush to the help of the fellow who is falling. Yeah, right. That's it. So that is what, you know what Amritanandamayini Mataji says? I would rather wear out than rust. So beautiful. I just want to work. I want to do Lokahita Karya all the time. I don't want to sit and rust. So beautiful. No?
Ramanujacharya, 18 times he had to go to the Guru and get the mantra. And he said, you should not give it to anybody. Every year he used to go for 18 years. At last, when he got it, he ran straight to the top of the mountain and he shouted, Om Namo Narayanaya. This Guru was angry. He said, I told you if you say it out loud, your head will break.
Yes.
Why did you not hit? Parvala, even if my head breaks, no problem. There are others who will be going to the heaven.
Yes.
Let me go to hell, no problem.
Yes.
Others will go to the heaven. I'm very happy.
That was the Lokahita. That was the thing he had. Let everyone get the benefits of the Nama Japa of Narayana. Ramanujacharya did that. And there is this beautiful story of Chinmayananda. Before he was Chinmayananda, he was, I don't know his Purvashrama name. He went to Tapovan Maharaj in the Himalayas. That was the guru of Chinmayananda. So, see, those were the days when there were no, communication was very hard, isn't it? So he had to, he knew that there is a great yogi in the Himalayas, a great, enlightened master. I want to be his disciple. That was his only thought of this Chinmayananda. So, and traveling from Chennai, from wherever he was, down south to the Himalayas would have taken months. I don't know what sort of travel, train or bus or walk or what he did. Fortunately, he reached Tapovan Maharaj's cave. That man used to live in a cave, and he went. And Maharaj came out, and he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am so and so. Why have you come?" "I have come to become your disciple." So Tapovan said, "Who recommended you to me?" Then this Chinmayananda said, gave the name of the person who reference, endorsement. Okay, this is a man who is capable. I want him to be your disciple, kind of letter. Where is the letter? Tapovan asked him, "Where is the letter?" Chinmayananda said, "I don't have any letter." Then he simply shut the door and said, "Go back." And so Chinmayananda had to come all the way back. Whatever months it had taken him to go up, so many more months for him to come back. And he went to his mentor and asked him for the letter. Then he again did the same journey. He went back to Tapovan, and this time he had the letter. And then only Tapovan Maharaj accepted Chinmayananda as the disciple. That means, look at the dedication, the focus, the one mind. He was so centered that I want this. Come.
Did I read this story wrong, Purnima? When he brings the letter, Tapovan Swamiji takes it up into two without even reading and asks him to come in. Asks him to come into the...
Doesn't even read it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Correct. So what he wanted to, he did not want the letter per se. What he wanted was to test whether this guy will really come back a second time, Anta. Isn't it? Is that right, Jayashri? Is that what you're trying?
Yes, Purnima. That was the point. That was the point.
That is the point. So it's like that.
Basically, Chinmayananda was a very rich man's son.
He was a rich, spoiled brat before, actually.
Spoiled brat, and he was cynical about all his
cynical about all this. Correct.
He went to Rishikesh to tear all their parda and say, "See, this is how these guys are. They're talking. They talk. They don't, mean anything." That is the reason why he went there. But then he met his match in Tapovan. Tapovan Maharaj. Correct. And he tore him to pieces and said, "Boy, what do you know? Just shut up." How hard as his teaching process was?
Order, totally order.
Orders, very difficult task.
Yeah, I got that. Yes.
Early morning, 4 o'clock, they have to go and take a bath in Ganges and all that stuff before they come to study and all. Over beginning time, he thought, "Arey, why am I getting into all this?" Then, to some extent, he mustered up enough this thing. And that it was there in his prarabdha to be, He said, "Don't go back, don't talk." He said, no, I have to tell, just like Ramanujacharya, I have to tell everything to the whole world. This is too good to be true. I have to share it with the world. So, Tapovan gave him a bead. Around his waist, that will be a belt. Have you seen?
Yeah.
In that bead was hanging. Keep it always on you and then talk, he said.
Yes, Mamanusmara Yudhyacha.
Yes.
That is the meaning. Yes. Why is this Mam Anusmara? Mam Anusmara is the crux here. Why is it so important? Because a lamp which is burning in any corner of the house will light up the entire house. When the lamp goes away, darkness will envelop. So the moment I forget Krishna, all my other vasanas and samskaras will come and they will grab me from all sides. Isn't it? That
Number
is
one.
Yeah.
Number one, you will be humble. Number two, you will not become proud. The chances are that when you're flying so high, the kite is flying so high, but there is a little thin string catching hold of it to keep it steady.
Forget that. Yep.
That's what it is.
Correct. And so this remembering God at all times, is it simple or is it complicated? What do you all think? Is it becoming easier? Remembering the teachings of the Gita. What is the opinion?
Now it has gone into the each and every cell, Purnima, after all these classes.
Wonderful, Padmaja. Wonderful. What do you all say? The rest of you? It is
Now
so
we don't
beautiful.
have to specifically remember. It is there. Body built away.
Like,
Yeah. Like
Uh,
subconsciously it is there. We need not make a conscious effort nowadays.
amazing.
It is in the breath, ma.
Abba, Chandra, Jai. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Purnima, you have done your job.
Ayo.
Thank you, Ramji. Yeah.
Yo. I just want to add how there's this master called Ram Sukh Das Ji. Okay, he was a Maharashtrian Mahatma, and he has given the commentary on the Gita. And he says there are two ways where you are effortlessly aware of God all the time. One is depending on the nature of the person. One is Jnana Janya, out of Jnana. What is the Jnana Janya? Effortless awareness. Like all of you said, it's in the background, it's become part of me, it's in my every cell. That is such effortless. And we are really, really blessed if it is effortless. However, it's not effortless for most of us. That is why we need to make, because you know why? It feels as if, what is this impersonal God? What is it? God is somewhere. How can, it is very difficult to make it my own God. Therefore, this is where bhakti comes into the picture, where in bhakti, you can make God your own, not as some impersonal nirguna, nirakara, whatever. It doesn't appeal to everyone. So he says, Jnana Janya is one. Another one is Sambandha Janya. Sambandha. You established a relationship with God. Sambandha. How? Like we have a Sambandha with our children, parents and a spouse or relatives, siblings. We have a Sambandha, no? Very close and intimate relationship. You have to make God, that kind of Sambandha you have to develop with God. He says, make
First
God my
Sambandha.
beloved.
First Sambandha, Saturday Bhagavad Gita class.
Done.
Second Sambandha, straight to God.
Yeah. So like we know many examples, how for gopis he was the beloved. For Radha he was the beloved. Amazing Sambandha. They were always in thought of Krishna as a beloved. Fantastic. As Yashoda, for Yashoda, Krishna was the beautiful child. That is also a fantastic Sambandha. Like this, when we have a Sambandha with God, and for Arjuna and the Pandavas, he was a friend. For Sudama, he was a friend. So, Tvameva Mata, Tvameva Pita, Tvameva Bandhu, everything is Krishna. That is the second Sambandha Janya. And the third, he says, is Kriya Janya. In the midst of action, hold on to God. That is what we all just discussed, how a child plays that girgitle, holding on to the pillar. And another example he gives, like a village women in olden days, how they were carrying a pot of water on their head. So effortlessly they used to carry the water on the head, a very heavy pot and full of water. But they would gossip with each other happily and, without spilling a drop of water, they used to go. How? They were conscious. That was effortless awareness of God. The effortless awareness of the weight on their head, that the water should not spill. But they were happily gossiping and walking, and in the village kacha roads, they used to go. Like that, it has to become a part and parcel of me. I should be able to do complex job while thinking of God. That is the thing.
How to do it?
How to do it?
Nama Japa is that way.
Fine.
Continuously, when you start off, it is a voluntary action.
Yeah.
But when you go on doing it,
involuntary.
Voluntary.
Ajapa. Japa becomes ajapa.
Ajapa.
Like,
even when somebody wakes you up, you will wake up with Rama, Rama.
Rama, Rama. That should become the default mode. Really. Like how one can drive while listening to music, it will become like that. Unconsciously, that Nama Japa will become the Vasana. Instead of something else, that old Vasana is thrown out. And this Krishna Vasana will come in. Wow, so beautiful.
Today is Sarva Ekadasi. Ashada Sarva Ekadasi.
Beautiful. Okay, so these were some of the points that I wanted to share, and all of us have shared such beautiful inputs. Kriyajanya. Kriyajanya nalunu, Padmaja, you had to add something to this. You had some notes. Please share.
No. I just missed it. First one, yeah. Sambandha Janya is the second one. Kriya Janya is the third one.
Jnana Janya. Jnana.
Jnana Janya.
Jnana Janya, Sambandha Janya, and Kriya Janya. In Kriya Janya also, there are varieties of ways of remembering God. Number one, remembering God is a secondary in the background, and work is primary, which is perfectly all right. You have to concentrate on the work at hand, but you are catching hold of the God pillar behind. What is the practical tip is, remember God in the beginning, start your work, and in the end, remember God, surrender, offer everything to Him, and be done. That is fine. That is the most practical and easy way of doing it. Number two, the opposite of it is true. While, for example, while you're cleaning dishes, you don't have to remember the dish all the time. You can remember God all the time and then do the dishes. That is another way of remembering God while in this Kriya Janya. And then the third is when work itself is worship. That's the ultimate. There is no separation. This is work, this is God. There is no separation. Work is worship agbidatte avaga. When we do this constantly, work in the God world itself will become worship. So the formula is, in the beginning, work plus worship. Second stage, work as worship. Third stage, work is worship. This is the stage by stage how we can get into this remember Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. It can be done in so many ways. And then just one more point before we wind up to complete this work. He says Mayarpita Manaha and Buddhi, both. Why is God mentioning both Manas and Buddhi? Why both have to be surrendered? ಬರೀ ಮನಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎರಡು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಟೆಲ್. Can anyone give any inputs on this? My Arpita, surrender unto me, manas and buddhi. Yes, Nirmala.
First, it is transcendence.
What is transcendence?
Go beyond. Then it is imminent. Whatever you see, whatever you do, whatever you think, that is Krishna only.
Yes. Correct.
First transcend, then first Aham Brahmasmi, then Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything. What is the material with this world is made? Brahma only.
You saw that video I had shared? That woman, how beautifully she said, I am made from the material of this universe and I will go back to the same, and some other body will come up with the same material, she says. So beautiful. Ayyo, it was so beautiful what she said. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
The positive attitude with which she's taking life. See?
And she says, why should I fight nature? That was also another crux there. Why should I fight nature? She has given me and she will take it away. That's all. No, here to come back to the point, what is the point of Krishna saying Mai Arpita Manaha and Buddhi? What is can anyone throw light on that?
Yes, being in body, mind, intellect, this one, I'm not, it will be duality. So be with Krishna Natarana, be with Krishna, be no duality.
No duality. Okay, that is also fine. That is correct. Any more thoughts on this? Manas andrenu, buddhi andrenu. Okay, let us come to the distinction between manas and buddhi. Does anyone have the clarity on that? What is manas and why is the distinction between manas and buddhi, mind and intellect?
It is clarity of mind and purity in heart.
That is fine. That is purity of heart is fine. There's a very
And
fine.
intellect is the one which will control your mind and your thoughts.
Very correct. Yes, correct. Intellect for manas is called the surface level. At a surface level, the manas is always acting. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go there. All this, it keeps changing all the time. It flits from manas is called a bandar, no? It's called a monkey. Manavemba markata. It jumps from one thought to another thought to another thought. In a flash of a second, we don't know how many thoughts we have in the head, isn't it? So manas is called samshayatmaka. And sankalpa vikalpa happens in the manas. And vikshipta. Manas, see, three qualities of the mind. Vikshipta means always distracted. That faculty of the one faculty of the mind is always distracted. Even while we are all in this class, it's already thinking of for breakfast, lunch, time, everything. It's going on simultaneously. That is manas. And it is always sankalpa vikalpa. Mind will say, oh, tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, I have to log in on time for the class. Sankalpa. Then vikalpa. Array, 5 minutes later also it will do, no problem. That is vikalpa. For everything, there will be sankalpa, vikalpa will be going on in the mind together. Like two wheels, they are going. You decide something, then something else will come to the mind, then you change the plan. Always it's happening. And one more thing of the mind is, it is samshayatmaka. Always it's in doubt, conflict. Should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? You all, is it very familiar what this manas is all about? Isn't it?
Yes.
That is manas. That is what it is. It is like kidney has one function, liver has one function. Manas has this kind of nature. Nothing to be worried about. So this manas you surrender to me, number one. Then what is buddhi? Buddhi is nischayatmaka. Is a buddhi which takes the decision and says, no, I will get up at 7 o'clock. Okay? Manas has a double mind, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Buddhi will take the decision. Yes, 7. That is nischayatmaka. It has no doubt, it has no conflict. That is why all our New Year resolutions are taken with the buddhi only, because it knows, Papa, buddhi has more viveka. It has the power to discriminate between what is good, what is bad. So buddhi will take the decision. Oh, exercising, going for yoga class in the morning is good for me. It will take a decision. But then if the manas is also not on board, the manas will say, why should I wake up at 6 o'clock? Who asked you to take decision without my permission? The manas will ask buddhi. Manas will say, no, I want to go back to sleep. That is the manas. Therefore, both manas and buddhi have to be on board. They have to go hand in hand. Otherwise, it will not work. You understand? That is why Krishna is saying, Mai arpita manas and buddhi. Both of them they have to align. Heart, head and hands, like Kamala said, like Nirmala said, head to heart to hand, everything has to come together. Manas and buddhi, and body also. Body also will become slothful. I'll feel lazy. I don't want to get up. My leg is hurting. My back is hurting after 2 days of yoga or aerobics. So everything has to come together. So surrender everything to Krishna, and that is
Can
what.
I add one point on this?
Yes, please, of course. Carry on.
So, surrendering to Krishna by manas and buddhi, which means like manas is like, in our terms, like heart. So love him with all your heart and manas. Because manas can love a person, whereas buddhi cannot. So you love God with your manas.
Yes.
And buddhi also, you do arpana to Krishna because you don't want to think and delineate and analyze God.
Yes.
And you just want to have like complete faith on Him. You don't want to use your buddhi in trying to understand Him, or when you love Him, like, whenever there is good thing, you don't want to say, okay, God is good and He's done good, so now I love Him. And even when bad things happen, then you shouldn't use your buddhi and say, I'm going to still love God. So don't use buddhi and, arpana to Krishna, and with manas completely wholeheartedly love Him.
That was so beautiful, Pragati. Actually, you are talking of manas as a heart, actually, with your emotions, with your, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful. So well said. So well said, no, people? So lovely.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
So
Very
much
nice.
Haudu.
Immediately I remember this.
Ah,
When it is your sister, mother, father, any relation, you judge.
correct.
If you select your friend, somehow you cannot see the defect of your friend at all.
Even if you see, you're able to talk about it, no problem.
You
You
talk
cannot
about
take
it in a positive way.
In a positive way, in a loving way. In Kannada,
Anybody comes and talks bad about your friend, you say, no, he's not like that. You know how sweet he is. You will start, enumerating on all his plus points.
In Kannada, there's a saying, "Hettavrige hegna muddu" anta. The mother always sees the best qualities in her own child, Even when mongoose is born to you, even a bandicoot is born to you, you say, oh, the most beautiful bandicoot. Like that.
In Tamil, they say, "Kaakikku tan kunju pon kunju."
What's
the
that?
crow thinks that its baby is like gold.
Right. Like that. Very true. So when, this is what Pragati and Nirmala just said, when you make God your own, it is not some impersonal somewhere outside, When I make God my own, then the manas and buddhi will be on track. And the head, heart and hands will be on the same page. So beautiful. And the one more important thing that God says in this verse is, asamshayaha. You will attain to me asamshayaha, without doubt. Mame vaishvasi asamshayaha. What else we want from God? How many ways He has assured, how many ways. And har bar He is assuring us. You think of me and you're done. So that's it. We are all on the same page here. We have got the message of Bhagavan. Yes.
Ado Chinmayananda Swami's earlier name was Balakrishna Menon.
Thank you. Yes, Balakrishna Menon. It didn't come to my mind. Yes, now I.
Born in Ernakulam anta.
Ernakulam. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. But you know what? We are also lucky. We don't have to do so much tapas to go to Tapovan. Alva, sitting at home, we are getting so much. Amazing. It's becoming easier. That's what in Bhagwan said at the end of Dwapara Yuga, no? Krishna said, ಇನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯುಗ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಮಸ್ಮರಣ ಮಾಡಿ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಯು ಅಂತ. So that's what he has made it easy. He knows in Kali Yuga, this manas is going to be like a monkey more than ever. No time for people to do too much of adhyayana and tapas and all that. So just this is what we are doing is more than sufficient. So beautiful, so blessed, very happy to be blessed and, very happy to be part of this whole Jnana Yajna. So let's finish with the prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Satchidanandatma Shivananunane Shivoham 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 Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.